So he grabs like this baseball bat that's chilling in his room, and he's prepared for this thing to come in. And like at the time, he still thinks whatever, was calling his name in the kitchen, this is them. So he sees the handle jiggle and the door open, and it's really his mom. And he can tell that it is actually his real mom. And she goes, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing." And he sets the bat down. And she's like, "You're acting weird and stuff. And there's food in the fridge if you're hungry." So he didn't know what to make of that. Like, what did he just experience? And he didn't feel like he could tell his parents about it. So he decided to talk to his grandpa, who was kind of like his best friend at the time. So he goes to his grandpa's room, and he's like, "Grandpa," he's like, "have you ever seen something like you can't explain?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" And he tells the story about like how he thought his mom and dad had came home, he's seen their car and everything, but it wasn't actually them. And the grandpa goes, "Oh no, oh no." And he goes, "What's wrong, Grandpa?" And he says, "Well, when I was a young boy, I grew up in a small Polish village near Warsaw." And he said, "We had this term that was this long Polish word, but it roughly translated into evil twin." And he said they believed there were these evil spirits that could take the form of anyone and would try and trick you and lure you, out into the woods. So his grandpa said, "When I was a young boy, my father had me chopping wood outside. And I hear my grandma's voice coming from the forest. And she's saying, come in the woods. I baked you a pie. Like, come out here. It's nice and warm. Like, you'll like this pie." And he said, he was so hungry, like he almost started to go out into the woods until his father ran and grabbed him and said, "Get back in the house." And his father locked the door and said, "If you hear someone calling you from the woods, don't ever go. Don't respond." So he said, when you encounter an evil twin, as they called it, they will follow you for the rest of your life. And he feared that maybe this thing had followed him here to America. And this is what Aiden had seen. A couple weeks later, his parents are gone, and it's just him and his grandpa. And they're watching this World War II documentary in the living room. Well, all of a sudden, the wind picked up, and a strong breeze pushes the back kitchen door open, and they hear it, open up. So his grandpa's like, "I'll go and close the door real quick, and I better lock it so it doesn't blow open again." So his grandpa goes into the kitchen, but after about 10, 15 minutes, he doesn't come back. So Aiden's like, Grandpa, are you all right?" He goes into the kitchen, the back door's still open, and he doesn't see his grandpa. He goes throughout the house, he's yelling his name, he doesn't see him anywhere. So he goes out, to the back door, and he's yelling his grandpa's name, he doesn't hear it. So he calls up his parents, and his parents come home immediately, and they call the police, and they do this big search throughout the